everyone, this is Mary from SVGCuts, and I'm here today with some really fun sports projects for the sports lovers in your life. Whether they're girls or guys, hopefully these will come in really handy, especially when you're looking for something to make for a guy, because lots of guys love sports, so hope it's handy for you. So first of all, we have our cute little soccer ball, and this is not too many pieces to put together. It kind of goes together in a nifty kind of way, which you'll see here in just a minute, and it opens up and is hinged so you can put something fun inside there, nice and cute. And then we also have our cute little baseball cap, which you can make in whatever color you want. You can put whatever you want on the front. Maybe you have some stickers of an actual, licensed team or something. I've seen stickers for baseball teams at the craft store before, so that could be really cute. Or of course you could just use the little generic baseball on the front too. And I had a lot of fun with this one. It came out really cute even though it's just one solid color, and the cute part of it is this nice white stitching, which I did with a white gel pen, which I'll show you here in a minute if you're not familiar with gel pens. So we also have a cute little golf bag, and it's nice and fairly simple to put together. It's pretty straightforward, but it's nice and cute and looks like a cute little golf bag. So I think you could, if you wanted to gift some cigars in there, that would be pretty cute, or whatever you have in mind, some kind of little treats or something. So we also have a nice card if you want to make something for someone who loves tennis. Kathy on our design team was saying that she actually met her husband while they were playing tennis, so she's going to make this as an anniversary card, which I think is awesome. And the strings on the tennis rackets are actually vellum. They're light green vellum, so I think it looks even more realistic that way because they're kind of see-through. But of course you could use regular paper too. So finally we just have a nice large gift bag, which of course you could use, make it any theme you want depending on your paper. And I actually maximized a nice piece of 12 by 12 paper, which I love doing when I have paper that I really love, that I just think is so pretty it doesn't even need any embellishing. It's nice to just make something to take advantage of how pretty the paper is. So as you can see, it's mostly just two pieces, and then of course the bottom pieces. So that is nice with paper. I even made one while I was testing out of some pretty paper. And the cool thing about this is that it really does fold flat. So you can, save it, use it again. Whoever you give it to can reuse it as another gift for someone else. So the paper that I used this time was super fun. It's from one of my favorite paper companies, Graphic 45, and it's called Good Old Sport. And as always, I just love their paper. It's just really pretty, it feels really nice, and I love the vintage graphics that they use on their paper. So it comes in all different sizes. We've got small pads, and then they always with their paper collections make some really awesome stickers and chipboard elements, which I didn't use because sometimes I'm afraid to confuse you guys. Maybe if I use one of these you might think that shape is included in the kit, so I didn't really use any, which was hard to do because they're really cute. But like I always say, when you have a really awesome chipboard element or a sticker, you could make a really simple card and just stick a really cute, chipboard thing on the front, and it would be awesome. So regardless of what paper you use, I think this is going to be really awesome. Can't wait to see what you make. And I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how these three-dimensional items go together, so let's get started. Now first I'm going to put together the soccer ball, and it is in two parts. First we have the lid, which is actually separate from the bottom, and then at the end we're going to join them together with this hinge piece. So let's focus on just the lid here, which you can see it's mostly just one cream colored piece with some black parts that are holding it together. So that is this piece here is the main part of it, and then it's just held together with these small black pieces. So to put it together, first we want to join it together with this side tab here. So I will just put a little bit of glue on that tab and line it up as nicely as possible here. And then this five-sided shape here just goes on the top. So we can go ahead and glue that on. And I'm just gonna just kind of stick it on as quickly as possible since I'm making a video here. But if you want to take your time a little bit more with your glue, that's usually a good idea. And then I've got one little liner piece here, which is just the only white colored pentagon, and that goes on the inside. So we'll just glue that in place to finish off the lid on the inside. So now all that's left to do is glue these 4 triangles and this one piece in place. And it doesn't matter which one goes where, but in order to put those in place, we just want to cover two of the white triangles with glue going all the way out to the corners, and then just carefully put that little triangle in place. So you want to work your way around, gluing all 4 triangles into place, and then this one is the same. It's just a triangle with a little bit more down here because that forms our little closure. So there is my lid. It's ready to go, but I'm going to set it to the side for now and take a look at the bottom of the ball. So the bottom is made up of these 2 main pieces and this 3rd main piece, as well as about 6 of these 5-sided shapes, which are all the same. So what we want to do is take a look at these white pieces. Mine happen to be white, maybe yours is a different color, but you can tell that the top is up here because these tabs are a little bit taller than they are on the bottom. So this is the top up here and this is the top up here, and we want to glue them together so that they form one big piece. And it doesn't matter if you go like this first or if you go like this first, as long as the top is even and you've got those taller tabs up at the top. So let's start by gluing them together with a nice even layer of glue going all the way out to the corners of the tab. And then we'll close it up in the same way by putting glue on this tab, and you can see that the top is all even, so I've got it right here. And of course you want to line it up as perfectly as possible. And then we can go ahead and put some of the bottom together. So this is the bottom down here, and there are some side tabs going all the way around. So we want a nice even layer of glue on the tab, as usual, going all the way out to the corners. And of course, we want to line it up as nicely as possible. So I'm just working my way around, forming the bottom of the ball. And it's really starting to take shape. You can kind of tell what's going to happen next here. And I'm still just working my way around the bottom. And there's the final tab in this series here, like this. So it goes together in kind of a neat way. You can kind of tell that there's going to be some black pieces here. These 6 black pieces are going to get glued in those spaces. But first, let's put the top together. We got some glue on it, but that's okay. So on the 2 ends, it looks like this. And on this smaller triangle here, I want to cover that with a nice thin layer of glue. And put that into place. And then this is going to get glued right onto the top. So we just want to work our way around. What I'm going to do is cover 3 tabs, and it's a repeating thing going all the way around, so just grab one of these groups of 3 and cover it with glue, and then it doesn't matter which one of these you use, but put one of them into place. And you definitely want to line it up really precisely so that everything fits together nicely. So instead of working my way around, I'm going to skip one and jump across to the next one. You could just work your way around, but I find sometimes with this kind of a project, if you jump around a little bit, it helps everything fit together more perfectly. Because sometimes if you work your way around from each consecutive one to the next, sometimes when you get back to where you started, it might be a little bit off. Unless you get lucky and you're all set. So now I'm just gonna do that to the final 3. And I want to make sure that it's lined up really nicely. I'm really taking a look and lining up this folded part with the edge of the black. You can kind of bend it out of the way so that you can get your glue in there. And I'm just kind of throwing my glue on without a lot of precision. So like I always say, you can be a little more careful with yours. And then there's just one more. And there's the final one. And now all that we want to do is from the inside, there's just a tab here, tab here, tab here, so there's 5. As you can see from the inside, you just want to get some glue on each of those 5 tabs and fold those up. So once you do that, your whole entire top will be glued together. And then all you need to do is glue all 6 of these pentagons into place. So you just want a nice thin even layer of glue going all the way out to the corners of those shapes. And then it doesn't matter which way you put it because all 5 sides are equal. And you just want to line it up as nicely as possible. And you can lay it down flat and push from the other side if that helps. So go ahead and put the rest of your pentagons into place, and then you can take your lid and glue your panel on it just like this. It's flush with the bottom and the sides. And then all that's left to do is decide if you've got one side that looks a little nicer, then you can decide which is the front. Doesn't really matter. And then we can take our hinge piece and put glue all over one half of it. And just carefully line that up. We want to make sure that this fold is lined up with the bottom there. And then you can go ahead and cover that side of it in glue and glue that down to create your hinge. So next we can take a look at our baseball cap. And I've got the lid here, which is really just 6 pieces that are glued together. And they're all the same except for this one piece has a little thing in the back. And that's to make it easier to open it up so you can stick your thumb in there. And then we've also got this tiny little piece that goes on at the top. So at this point, if you want to go ahead and put your stitching on, you can. I actually did mine after I put the hat together, which I thought was totally easy enough. But you just want to make like even little stitches if you have a gel pen. And I grabbed all the gel pens I have because there seem to be a lot of different brands of them at the craft store, and I think they're all equally cool. So if you do that, you can let it dry a little bit and then start to put it together, or like I said, you can do the stitching at the end if you want. So to put the lid of our cap together, we just want to grab any of these pieces. It does not matter what order they go in, since they're all the same except for one. And what you want to do is cover each of these little teeth with a thin little layer of glue, and then grab another piece and line up the first tab, making sure that it's nice and even, and give it a little bit of an extra amount of time to take hold, and then just work your way up one tab at a time, just lining up these two edges. So I'm squeezing it from the inside, and I'm just carefully lining it up as I go, and it kind of just falls right into place. So you just want to do that same exact thing all the way around with all 6 pieces. So now I've got all 6 pieces glued together, and it's just a matter of closing up the seam and not ripping it apart. So again, it's just the same exact procedure for this final seam, and I'm going to hold this first tab maybe a little bit longer just because there's a lot of tension built up here in these pieces and it kind of wants to come apart. So again, I'm just lining up everything, and as I get closer to the end of this seam, it really does just kind of hold itself right into place. So now all that's left to do is put some glue on these top tabs up here, and you want to make sure that your glue goes all the way out to the little corners so that your piece stays into place. And you just want to carefully line that up, and you can flip it over on your tabletop and push down from the inside. So there is our hat lid with the stitching and everything. You can put what you want on the front. And now let's take a look at the bottom. So the bottom of our hat is pretty simple. It's 3 pieces that are identical like this, which all get glued together to form a thick shape like this. And then this decorative piece goes on at the end. And then we've got the liner of the bottom, and then we've got 6 pieces that look like this. So to start, we just want to glue these 6 pieces side to side. And to do that, I'm just lining up this first one here, giving it a chance to dry, and then lining up the next one. And I'm really lining up the edge of the paper with the fold of the other piece, and then the third tab. So just go ahead and work your way around with all 6 pieces. So now I've got all 6 pieces together here, and I'm just closing it up using the same method, one tab at a time, and there we go. So now what we want to do is, like I said, go ahead and glue together these 3 pieces, and you want your glue to go out pretty close to the edge so that it forms one nice thick shape. And my glue bottle is getting a little clogged up here, but you get the idea. So go ahead and glue these 3 pieces together, being careful to line up the corners. And then we will put the rest of the bottom together. So I've got all 3 shapes that look like this glued together to form a nice thick shape. And the next thing we want to do is glue this piece onto this. And of course we want to line up the back and the sides. So I think the best way to do that is to first just glue one side to the back, and we want to line it up really nicely. And then we can go ahead and glue down the other two sides here. So there's the back glued into place. Mine's not perfectly even, but you get the idea. And then put some glue on these two tabs here, as well as actually the rest of them. Now's a good time to do that too. And I'm kind of looking at this from an awkward angle, so I'm sure your glue will look even nicer than mine. And of course, we just want to make sure that these corners are lined up nicely on both sides. And then go ahead and basically just want to glue the whole thing down, making sure that those corners are lined up nicely. And then you can go ahead and put some glue. Actually, to glue the liner in, I think it's easier if you put the glue inside first, because then you don't smear it all over the place when you put the liner in. So glue that liner into place, and then you can go ahead and glue this decorative piece right centered on the top of your hat, which also looks cute with some stitching on it too. So next we can take a look at our golf bag, and I've got the lid pulled off here. We'll just do the lid first. And for that, we've got this little piece. This one's plaid. That's this darker brown piece here on the top, which goes on top of the lid. And they both have 3 slits cut out of them for the 3 golf clubs. And then this piece goes on at the end inside to finish it off. And then we've got the main part of it, which I went ahead and glued these panels onto. So for the golf clubs, we've also got, obviously there's 3 different ones, and right now I'm only going to put together this one because they all work the same way. So this one is made up of some panels as well as the main parts of it. So what you want to do is glue these little decorative pieces onto each side of your club like this. And then we want to glue them together, but not put glue on this bottom tab which folds towards you. So we can go ahead and put some glue on the back side of your club. And again, all 3 clubs work the same way, so I'm just showing one. And again, there's no glue on these 2 tabs just yet. So here is my one club with the 2 tabs on the bottom, and now we can put together these 2 pieces. So what you want to do is make sure that these 3 slits are lining up with these 3 slits, and go ahead and glue that into place. Again, making sure that you can see through all 3 of those slits. So all 3 slits are equal in size, and the bottom of each club is also equal width. So it doesn't matter which one you put through which slit, but you want to stick it through and then put a dot of glue on either side. And then just spread that open kind of like a brad and give it a little chance to dry. And go ahead and put all 3 clubs into place. Then you can take your main piece here like this, and you can go ahead and glue your panels on like I've done. And you can tell which side is the top because these tabs are a little bit narrower at the top. That means this is the top of the lid, and this is the bottom. They're a little bit wider because they're just going to fold under once we get this together. So you can go ahead and fold under each of these bottom tabs with some glue on each one, and then just fold them all under. and that just kind of finishes it off and strengthens it up. And now we can cover this entire surface with glue and put your lid into place with your 3 clubs, and then you can flip it over and glue this inside to finish it off on the inside. So next, for the bottom of our golf bag, it's nice and simple. It's just one main piece and the strap and the pocket and then the bottom of the bag. So to put it together, we want to first put some glue on this long side tab and bend that around and line it up nicely. And then we can, actually at this point it's nice to put the strap on the bag, and this little piece up here folds over, and what you want to do is take a brad, and I forgot to bring one with me, but put a brad through that hole and then loop it around and glue this little guy up here on the top like this, so it's folded over. So you can see the finished one here looks nice with the brad. And then once your strap is in place, you can go ahead and take the, if you hold these up together, you can see that one is a little bit larger, so you want to glue the larger one on the bottom. So cover these tabs with glue going all the way out to the corners, and then you can put some glue on this and drop that inside to finish it off. And then all that's left to put on is the little pocket, which is this. And if you want to add these decorative panels like I did here and emboss them, now is a good time to do that here on the front. And then all that's left to do is put that together. So I'm just putting some glue on this side tab here and folding it together. And then you just want to cover these tabs here with glue and fold this over to close up the bottom. And then you just want to cover this back of it with glue and then just carefully glue that right onto the opposite side from the strap. So for our cute little tennis card here, I probably don't even need to explain this, but just in case, each racket is made up of these pieces. So this is just one racket, but it's made up of these 2. And then all you want to do is put some glue around the outside of your strings and obviously glue that to one and then glue the other one right on top of it. And I think it's cute if you want to wrap some ribbon around the handle. It looks like a real tennis racket. Now finally, for our gift bag, it's just these 2 big pieces and then 2 rectangles for the bottom. So all we want to do is put some glue on this long side tab here, which on one of them is 2 and on the other one it's 1. So it doesn't matter which one you start with, but you just want to put a nice thin even layer of glue pretty close to the edge, going all the way out to the corners. And then just grab the other piece and line it up as perfectly as possible. I think it's kind of easier to line up the top and the bottom, and then the middle kind of falls into place, but whatever works for you is awesome. And like I said, now I'll just put glue on the other side of it here. Again, just being sure to get that glue all the way out to the corners and pretty close to the edge. And my glue's a little crazy, but you get the idea. And we just want to line this up nicely. And I'm going to lay it down on my tabletop here so I can push down from the inside. And mine is not lined up perfectly, but like I say, you get the idea. So now all that's left to do is take the larger of the 2 rectangles, and you just want to cover these 4 tabs with glue going all the way out to the corners and put that larger rectangle right onto the bottom. Then you can flip it over and glue the smaller rectangle into the bottom to finish it off and cover up those tabs, and you've got yourself a nice gift bag, which you can then just fold flat. So there you have it, super fun paper projects for the sports lovers in your life, and a nice handy gift bag that I think will come in handy any time of the year for any occasion. So thanks for watching, and if you make any of these projects, you'll have to share a picture on our Facebook wall or on your blog, pin it on Pinterest, share it on Instagram, really anywhere, because we love seeing your projects, and so do the rest of our crafty fans. So thanks for watching again. I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting.
Learn more by visiting www.svgcuts.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and watch all of our crafty videos on YouTube. It's a world of crafty content with you in the middle. SVGCuts.com, inspiring you to live creatively and beautifully.